friends, welcome to another video. Today I want to address a question. Lissa, what did you used to think about vegans and what do you think about vegans now? So I wanted to reply to that question in this video. Thank you again for joining me today for another video. Today we're going to be talking about what I used to think about vegans and what I think about them now. But before we begin, check out our ebooks. We've got over 700 raw vegan oil-free recipes across all of our ebooks. We've got so many there, and we've got informational resources like how to food journal, building a healthy relationship with food, how to go raw in the winter. Along with our recipes, we've got burgers and tacos and soups and stews and curries and chilies and meal plans and all kinds of good stuff in our ebooks. Everything is 40% off with code RAWFOOD40. So if you are trying to add more raw food to your diet, or if you're doing Veganuary and you want to eat more raw whole foods, check out those ebooks. The link is in the description box below. So what did I used to think about vegans? I've never really thought about this question until I was asked this, so it was a really interesting one. I used to think the stereotypical things of vegans. Maybe they were frail, kind of like hippie-like, or weren't getting enough protein. I actually believed it too. We believe these things because it's perpetuated in society. So stereotypes stick around, and it's unfortunate because not all vegans are, you know, a specific type of however you think vegans are. Some of them were mean. Most of them were mean, actually. Mean vegans, as in they were really kind of like, they judged me for what I was doing. So I never really wanted to be a vegan because I didn't want to be a mean vegan. And I still don't want to be a mean vegan. I want to be a kind, compassionate one. And I want to be one that inspires people to make different choices instead of telling them they're wrong or that they suck or whatever. I don't want to be that kind of vegan. But I know that there are kind of vegans like that out there. So it really depends on what resonates with the person. Some people need that. Some people need that in your face kind of meanness. But I feel that for me, moving over to a vegan diet, I needed compassion. I needed somebody who was going to help me through it or inspire me in a very non-judgmental way. And I did have a friend, coworker that I worked with, and her name was Violet. And she was a vegan, and every time we'd go out for like a work dinner with everybody, she would always order her vegan thing and she'd do her own thing, and she never imposed anything on anyone. She just really was inspiring, and she was gorgeous, she was glowing, happy, and I was just really inspired by her. And that was kind of my first taste of a compassionate, non-judgmental vegan. And I was like, I like how she is. And I wanted to be vegan, but of course, you know how it is. We didn't want to change, and I didn't want to embark on that at the time. And I was bombarded with other information telling me that vegans were sick and frail and protein deficient. But I also read things that said vegans lived longer, and I read the blue zones, and I knew that vegan diet was more compassionate, but I never made that connection until I was 34. So I'm 43 now, and 43, I cannot believe that, but I'm 43 now, and I went raw vegan when I was 34. So it's been just over 8 years. I know that age is weird, but it was in September that I went raw, and then I turned 35. So it's been 8 years that I have been raw and vegan. Vegan for the animals, obviously, but raw for my health, and it's been amazing. I was 34. It took me 34 years to understand the connection between what's on my plate and what I'm paying for. So it took a long time to realize that, but once I did, I went vegan overnight, and I just cut out all animal products right away, and I personally went raw. So not everyone needs to go raw. Obviously, raw food is amazing, and we should probably be eating more of it because it's so great and healthy for us. But you do not need to go all raw. And we're gonna go through that topic in a future video. But I went vegan after watching the documentaries Forks Over Knives, Earthlings, and Cowspiracy. And that really solidified my choice to become vegan. And I would fall back on that person, Violet, that I knew who was vegan. I was like, this is the kind of vegan that I want to be. So there's a really cool little quote that says, vegans are kind of like adults. At first you don't like them, and then you become one, and then you realize they were right all along, which is a kind of a cute saying, and I resonate with that one because I used to not want to be a vegan. It's not that I didn't like vegans, it was just that I didn't want to be a vegan. I didn't want to change my life. But once I became a vegan, I have now opened my eyes and I have aligned my morals and ethics with my actions. I feel way better because now I do not choose to exploit animals and eat them or wear them or use products that were experimented on them and stuff like that. So I try my best. Again, we're going to talk about vegan perfectionism in a future video. There is no such thing as a perfect vegan, and I'm well aware of this. And people will often say, well, plants feel pain too, but animals eat way more plants to make the same amount of calories than humans could ever eat. So I mean, really, if you are worried about the feelings of plants, then you would go vegan anyways, because you would be contributing to less plant death by not eating the animals who eat way more than we do. So there's so many reasons. And now that I am a vegan, I realize how much more I am in line with my ethics, and I feel more compassion to others, not just animals, but human beings as well. I watched this one video about 2 months ago from Bite Size Vegan talking about the slaughterhouse workers. Organic meat goes to the slaughterhouse as well. It's not like it's just factory farm stuff. Organic grass-fed meat goes there as well. They gotta get butchered. And these slaughterhouse workers are underpaid and they're stressed out. They have a really high level of suicide, turnover rate, that kind of thing, because most of them can't get other jobs because it might be all that they can get. And which is really, really sad and very heartbreaking. And I not only don't want to contribute to the death of an animal, but I also don't want to pay for someone else to kill an animal for me who's going to suffer from things like PTSD, anxiety, depression. There's so many things that they go through, and we don't see this kind of stuff behind the scenes. They become desensitized to murdering thousands of animals every day. It's just ridiculous. So I don't want to be part of that, and I thus chose to become vegan. And I'm really happy that I did make that choice because, like I said, it now aligns with my ethics and my morals. And again, I know we can't be perfect vegans. I know that it just doesn't exist. We live in an imperfect world, and there's no level of perfection. There's no like medal that we're getting for being more vegan than the next person. It's about doing the best that we can with what we have, with what's available to us, with our finances. There's so many factors that come into play, and it's not just about being pretentious or being better than someone else. It's about aligning your personal actions with your ethics, with your compassion. So I hope that answered this question. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can click the little bell to get notifications sent directly to you whenever I post a new one. And we have 40% off any or all of our raw vegan recipe ebooks. They're oil-free and vegan. So if you're looking to add more raw food to your life, you don't need to be a raw vegan to enjoy these recipes. You can add them to your life and increase your fiber intake and your healthy raw food intake. Check them out. They are 40% off with code RAWFOOD40. The link is right here on the screen or in the description box below. And again, I hope you enjoyed. I love you all no matter what. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me, and until the next video, fruit on.